There are nearly 30 million small businesses in the United States, accounting for 2 out of 3 new jobs. Owners face plenty of challenges, especially at tax time, but there is help. And here with advice, Ryan Himmel, who is a CPA and an executive at Xero. Good morning, Ryan. How are you this morning? How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Mike. Pleasure to be here.
No, it's a good time to talk about this. Let's start out by explaining what Xero does, I guess, and exactly what your role is.
Yeah, sure. So Xero is cloud-based accounting software. A lot of small businesses are probably familiar with desktop software, which sits on their computer. Cloud-based accounting software streamlines key processes that business owners are thinking about on a daily basis. Think about bank reconciliation. It's such a laborious process. Xero syncs directly with your bank, so all those transaction data, all those details, your gas expenses, flows directly into Xero so that those transactions can be reconciled in real time. And it's really important for this time of year because a lot of small business owners don't have a lot of time, and they can feel confident they have all the information sitting in their accounting software so that they can send it off to their CPA or prepare their own tax return. So it's services like Xero that help you kind of have a more efficient business.
Yeah, well, I think that's huge because small business owners, they're dealing with the marketing, they're dealing with the hiring, they're dealing with all aspects of their business. But I think, what do business owners need to know at tax time? Any recommendations for them?
Yeah, so I have 2 pieces of advice. The first one is around making sure you have all the paperwork in order. So all your bank statements, all your receipts to justify your expenses, as well as any informational returns. You may have sent a 1099 or a W-2 form to some employees or contractors, making sure you have all those pieces of information sitting in one place like Xero. The other piece of advice that I would have is to make sure that your tax return is accurate. Of course, a small business owner is not going to know what every line item means on their tax return, but they can certainly verify their business information, so their tax identification number as well as their business address. Even if you're using an accountant, you should double check and make sure all those pieces of advice, those information is accurate.
Yeah, I want to talk about deductions for a second because this is an important aspect of filing your return. Are there any deductions that some owners might miss? What do you see there?
Yeah, so one of the deductions that's often overlooked is the home office deduction. We're seeing more and more small businesses actually work out of the home with the advent of technology, and they don't realize that they can actually deduct a portion of their home. And so one of the recommendations is to actually think about, if you're working at home primarily, what are the types of expenses you can claim? You can claim a deduction for utilities and expenses. It's actually a pro rata share because you're using some of your home for your personal residence, but you can certainly claim a portion of that for your business. Another deduction that's kind of overlooked is something that's more of a high dollar value, and that's the Section 179 deduction. Think about if you're a small business and you're upgrading computers across the board and spending $100,000. You can actually deduct up to $500,000 worth of expenses with the Section 179 election. So there's a lot of opportunity for small businesses to think about when they're claiming different deductions throughout the year. And that's the last piece of advice I would share. Small business owners should not just be thinking about tax planning when it's the tax time, but actually throughout the entire year, or else they're going to lose out on some really important opportunities.
Yeah, all good tips, Ryan. Where can our viewers go to find out more information online?
Yeah, so they can go to Xero.com, it's Xero with an X, and if they want to find a little bit more information about tax, they can go to Xero.com/tax tips.
Gotcha. Ryan, I know you're busy this time of year, so thanks for taking time out to swing by this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. A pleasure to be here.
You betcha. Kayla, over to you.